In this video, I'm sharing updates for both the 4th and the 5th months together because honestly, not much really happened in the first 2 months of the year. I thought creating 2 separate videos for each month doesn't make sense, so here we are. In January, I was really affected by what happened in December. You know how my sales dropped, the number of visits dropped, started to feel not motivated, I felt lost, I felt discouraged. And this is on top of, having a course, having a community, because I'm a pretty much like a independent person. I'm not really out there like connecting with people, or I don't really share a lot of things that I go through when it comes to my Etsy business into the group. I just like to observe other people or like read struggles that people have and see if that applies to me, and then I would read the comments and see if someone gave them a solution. Like that's what I usually do in the group. I did ask help before, but it wasn't like as complicated as me asking for like, why did my number of visits went down, how can I increase it? Like I'm not that type of person in the group. I'm also not that type of person at all. Like I always try to figure it out myself. So I did feel discouraged in January, and I think this is, and I've already talked about this before, about starting a business where it's not, sometimes you do something and it works, but suddenly that something stops working, and then now you're back to, I don't know, figuring things out again and how to get out of the situation where you are feeling stuck. Besides that, I did, however, push myself to do something that would help me improve as someone who owns a business. It still feels weird to say that I own a business, but yeah, so I did push myself to improve in the month of January. Do you remember in December, I mentioned, or in a December update video, I mentioned that I bought a junk journal course. However, I was not able to do it at all because, or I didn't finish it because we were going away in December for a holiday. But yeah, in January, even though I felt all the feelings that time, I did push myself and was able to finish the junk journal course and created 4 junk journal products, I believe. So yeah, 4 junk journal products. And also I was able to list 2 packs of clip art, 2 to 3 packs of clip art. It was Valentine theme, but I think the time that I posted the Valentine's ones were a bit too late, because normally when it comes to like holiday season or holiday themed products, you have to kind of post it, from what I've seen and observed, you have to post it like at least 2 months before the actual holiday, because I think a month before, this is just based on my observation, is when, a month or 2 at least before the actual holiday is when people would start buying it. So posting it early is gonna help your product or be like already out there. So when people start looking for holiday themed products, your products is already listed. From the Valentine packs, I think I was only able to sell 1. So I ended January with 6 listings and 3 sales. It was way worse than December did, but I did not really feel like this was going to be the end of my shop. I guess thinking positively and comparing yourself to other sellers positively helped me. And what do I mean by this is that I know that I'm still a new seller. If I had to compare the number of listings I have in my shop versus those shops with consistent sales, it's way off. Other shops that were making, or that are currently making sales after sales, have like hundreds or like thousands number of sale or listings. Did I feel sad that I only made $8.67 in revenue in January? Yes, I was kind of disappointed. But did I feel like I said, did I feel that it was going to be the end of the world for me or for my shop? No, I didn't. I really kept a positive attitude, even though I was also going through something, like going through feeling lost and discouraged and all that. At the same time, I still tried to see the light at the end of the tunnel, as they say. If we compare my stats in January to December. January had only 97 visits, 3 orders, conversion rate is 3.1%, and like I said, I only made $8.67 in revenue. Let's get into February. So in February, I made 0 sales. So I did not make anything at all. It was worst. It was the worst month so far. However, what I discovered based on the videos I've seen, this is kind of like a normal thing during February. Apparently February, March, a lot of shops don't make any sales on Etsy. So I think maybe that's the reason why, and this is like a normal thing, especially for me. I don't have a lot of traffic coming in yet, so it was worst for me. Even though that's what happened, I was getting barely any visits. Like in February, I only had 93 visits, no sales at all. I was determined to make this work still. You know, I really kept a positive attitude about what was happening. I think that was the only thing that I could control, was my attitude towards, you know, what was happening. So what I did instead, I optimized my junk journal listings. So I did, it's so hard. I still can't figure out the SEO thing, or like the title for Etsy, because a lot of people or sellers who create videos on YouTube about how to optimize an Etsy listing say different things, you know, does it differently. So I feel like at this point, I'm just doing something that I know is going to work for my shop, or don't change things that are currently working for my shop. I also spent rebranding my shop, the listing photos. I have mentioned this in the previous video, where I did spend a lot of time on, you know, changing my thumbnail photos, because that's really important. I also changed my banner. I still had the Christmas banner at that time. This month I was able to list 8 products, which is greater than how much I listed, or how many I listed back in January, but it was still nowhere near where I wanted to be. But yeah, so I was able to list 8 products for February, but made 0 sales. And if we look, I don't know, like it doesn't even make sense to show you the stats, but just for comparison's sake, January I had 97 visits, February I had 93, January I had 3 orders, Feb 0, conversion 0, revenue 0. So it was a pretty sad month, but you know, I'm still here, I'm still doing it. Things have gotten better though, so that's a bit of a sneak peek for you in my next video update. I'm so excited to share that video. Before I wrap up this video, I just want to share 2 mistakes I made in January and February. The first one was I posted holiday themed products a little too late. So like I mentioned before, it is better to post your holiday themed products at least 2 months before that holiday, because people would like to be prepared before that holiday. So I think this is not only applicable to like when you sell on Etsy, this is applicable in general, that you have to post those holiday themed products months before the actual holiday. And number 2, which was probably one of the biggest mistakes I've made so far, one of the biggest mistakes after that copyright mistake, was doing a product research incorrectly. Now, I don't know if there is a correct way of doing a product research, but when I was doing a product research for junk journals, what I did was I was looking at this particular seller. So this seller is selling just solely junk journal stuff, and at that time that seller posted a particular theme of junk journal, and I thought, okay, this is it. I'm just gonna follow what this seller did and also create the same theme, and you know, I'd be able to attract buyers. Well, I didn't. In fact, when I posted those 4 junk journals that I created in January, it is now March, at the end of March, and I have not made any sales at all. And that was because I forgot to consider that this seller is a popular seller. That's number 1. Number 2, this seller has been selling for a while now, so of course they this seller has regular customers. This seller has been making consistent sales. So those are the things that I forgot to consider. I should not have based my junk journal product on what this seller was selling, because the seller was already like an established business and I'm just starting out, and I should have gone for like easier to penetrate theme product for junk journals. But yeah, those are the two mistakes I made in January and February that I will try to never do again. Those 2 months were definitely tough, but I'm choosing to see them as lessons rather than setbacks, because as you know, building a business is not all about instant wins, you know? It's about adjusting, learning, and staying in the game even when things feel slow. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this helped you, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in following this journey, I will have more updates soon. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's figure this out together. Again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye!